Good morning, you guys. Good morning. I know I am up early, but I got to be out real early, kind of early this morning. I got some appointments and I gotta go work. So I'm gonna let you all start getting the notifications, okay? I'm gonna let you all start getting the notifications. I know y'all should be up for work. This is what happens when my work start picking up, I have to get up early. And when I get home at night, I be so tired. Last night I was so tired. I ended up putting my puppies, they have their own little houses. I put them in the wrong houses and everything. No wonder they was, whining because they used to their own, they was I was like, "What? How in the world you getting?" Lord, what's up, Miss Muffin? Hey, Miss Rita. It's more people up than I thought, y'all. I was so tired. Um, when my mama called me last night, like I gotta go pick her up today. We gotta go to the federal building today, to this morning. When she called me last night, "Are you asleep?" I said, "Yes, I'm tired." I see Miss Muffin, Rita, Lauren, Your Choice Towing, that's Go Raven, Keita, Genova, Tabitha, Diane, James. How are you all doing this morning? We're gonna let some more people start coming in. Peace and love. How are you? Hey, Marlon. Yes, I am up early, and that's because I got some things I gotta do this morning, and then I gotta go work. I was out yesterday working, and I was so tired when I got home, and I went to bed early. I went to bed early. Y'all know I told y'all I don't like this kind of weather when it starts getting cool. Shout out to Gary, Indiana. I got family in Indiana. I got family in Muncie, Indiana, in Anderson, and in Indianapolis, and in Fort Wayne. Leo, KY Kane. Y'all, what's going on this morning? We're gonna start then. Michelle Avance, James, Lauren Shell, TNT. Shout out to St. Louis, Dowlee. What's going on? I did a lot of work in St. Louis. When I first started doing my TV show, a lot of mothers were coming to there were a lot of young women. And when this at one time the human trafficking ring, there was a human trafficking hub in St. Louis. And a lot of the African American girls were not getting the coverage that they should have been getting, right? And they were all similar in age and size and all of that. So their mothers like Phoenix Coden, Shamika Cozy, their mothers and stuff were coming to the Memphis area. They was trying looking for any type of platform to put their to talk about their children. And during that time, I ended up garnering a lot of relationships with the St. Louis, Illinois, which is like right over the bridge, police department, and the St. Louis Police Department and FBI branch. I always say that St. Louis is one of the cities that really has a really good FBI branch because some of them don't want to listen or partner with you at all. There was another young lady named Della Williams. Every year she has a event And it's speaking about, yeah, East St. Louis, Illinois, speaking about human trafficking and things of that nature, human trafficking awareness, and the federal agents around the St. Louis area are always there to speak. Okay, and I love that. They partner with her organization. As a matter of fact, it's coming up again. I always come. It's coming up again in November. So I'll be in the area again. I always go over to the East St. Louis Police Department because, believe it or not, went to the officers had always partnered with the organization over in that area. So shout out to St. Louis. Anyways, you guys, I wanted to talk about Straight Drop's lawyer claims that he is devastated. The Straight Drop is devastated and will appeal, but is he remorseful, right? But is he remorseful? Okay. I wanted to right after Straight Drops, I was looking at, and I don't know how I missed it, right after the verdict. Okay, they went over to the Straight Drops attorney came out and he says that after the he gave the interview and he said after, Straight Drop was absolutely devastated about the verdict, right? He was definitely devastated. And I told you all, remember I told you all, I said when Straight Drop was first in jail, one of my friends told me that he used to, before he started getting into all of that trouble, he used to just sit down in the cell and rock, right? Looking up at the TV, rocking. I said, that's a person that is absolutely bothered. He's going through it in his mind. And then shortly after that, he really just started acting out. Well, he's been rocking in his cell again. You know what I mean? And so that's why I always say a lot of these young dudes don't really know what they're getting themselves into when they start doing things of this nature, right? When they start doing things of this, taking hits and stuff like that. So I wanted to pull up. I was trying to find that again. Hold on for a second. Hold on, you all. Where his attorney was talking about, he's a strong young man and all of that, and he was all devastated. Okay, hold on. Here it is, y'all. You guys make sure you hit the like button. I want to talk about is he really remorseful? But let's listen to this.
To the courtroom, Judge Jennifer Johnson has just reconvened.
Ready, Your Honor? Yes. Jury's found him to the courtroom. Thank you. The gentleman of the jury have reached a verdict. Yeah, Your Honor. For the guilty person, if you would stay and reach a verdict, please. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of conspiracy to commit first degree murder as charged in count 1 of the indictment.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree murder as charged in count 2 of the
first-degree murder. I want to give a recap of the day. Of course, Paul Hagerman, the prosecutor, 60 days. We're going to listen back in now outside the courtroom. Fox 13's Jeremy Pierre is there. He's going to be joining us here in just a moment to give a recap of the day. Of course, Paul Hagerman, the prosecutor, wrapped up his closing arguments about just after lunch today. Before that, Luke Evans, the defense attorney in this situation, wrapping up his. Hagerman, again, he laid out a pretty clear case here in his closing arguments. He was very succinct, saying that the defense ignored the fact that we don't just have a tower camera, we don't just have Valero video and Haven Court video. They had 3 different camera angles of the actual shooting that day of Makita's cookies. But they also had a defendant who admitted to the crime and pointed the finger at Johnson. This was Hagerman's quote this afternoon as he summed up his closing argument, saying, "We got Justin Johnson's actual phone." That's Fox 13's Jack Bilyeu as he makes his way through the hallway there. They pulled phone records that linked Justin Johnson to Big Jook, of course, one of the other people who is he's now passed, being murdered back this past January, linking him to the supposed real mastermind behind all of this, along
Let's go van to.
As we heard years, I wouldn't trust them with my car keys or whatever else. But you can point to other evidence that corroborates their testimony and their account proves to you that what they're saying, despite who they are, is true. And that's incredibly important in trial.
Those Tennessee
Appealing.
Sure, believed in somewhat of a faddish way by
I'm trying
several
to see why the speed is so
influential
fast.
people or rappers and
Let me see.
different famous individuals, and we wanted to try to point that out as best we could.
So you mentioned it's kind of a long road ahead as far as appealing.
Sure. Yeah. Obviously, it takes time, but the wheels turn slow sometime on justice as it relates to Mr. Johnson, as in all defendants that are in this predicament. But we just got to push forward and continue to fight for the just result.
And what's at stake here? I mean, Johnson faces life.
That's correct. He does.
In particular, you'll talk to
asking that we remember. But for
Believed were sufficient enough to
the defense attorney, Luke Evans.
wanted the jury to be aware of that we believed were sufficient enough to create reasonable doubt and support our position that Mr. Johnson did not, in fact, do this.
in particular, y'all talked about that Bass Pro hat.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's mass-produced.
I don't know why the speed is up like that.
Item that was being worn in somewhat of a faddish way by several influential people or rappers and different famous individuals, and we wanted to try to point that out as best as we could.
So you mentioned it's kind of a long road ahead as far as appealing.
Sure. Yeah, obviously it takes time, but the wheels turn slow sometime on justice as it relates to Mr. Johnson, as in all the defendants that are in this predicament. But we just got to push forward and continue to fight for the just result.
And what's at stake here? I mean, Johnson faces life.
That's correct. He does.
Can you elaborate on that?
Well, I mean, obviously I pointed out reasons in my closing argument and in my cross-examination for our concern about whether or not he was being truthful.
What do you want to see happen with Govan and Smith?
Well, obviously, that's something where, that was argued heavily. Where is Hernandez Govan? Where was he in this trial? Why wasn't he here? Obviously, if he's a defendant in this case, to the extent he's involved, he needs to be held accountable.
Did he play a huge role in your defense?
Well, it's interesting to say, but to the extent he wasn't called by the state, that was definitely a shock to us. based on the position of their prosecution. And when he wasn't called to testify, I felt it was significant. As being caused a significant gap in their case. Yes.
Can I ask you this? It's very odd. Did your client even have an alibi as to where he was during the time of the murder?
So basically, he asked him, "Did his client have an alibi?" I saw that, and he couldn't. You said maybe it's my playback. Okay, I'll look at that. His client basically didn't have an alibi, and he says that he didn't, you know, really have one. But he did talk about that Justin Johnson was, devastated. And you heard him say that they're going to, start the appeal process. The wheels of justice turn. And somebody made a good point. Who's going to be paying for that? So he's keeping this attorney on, which means he's going to have to be paid. You have to pay for these appeals. He's going to have another retainer's fee. We know now that these lawyers charge $50,000 retainers. So who's going to be paying for that retainer's fee when to start that appeals process? Because like he said, the wheels of justice is slow, but he's talking like he's going to continuously stay on, right? And so he went on to say that he was devastated. I've gotten word from my credible sources, that he's back down there sitting in his cell rocking. That's what he was doing when he first got in jail. And so hey, he's Ricky Johnson says CMG. So it's something. We know that I don't believe Justin Johnson has the money to continuously pay this lawyer, for appeals, for whatever it is that he may do, the hours that he's gonna spend trying to get his case back in court. So, and that's gonna take a lot of money. So who's gonna pay him? I wonder who's going to pay him. That is a good question. And is he remorseful? Is he remorseful for what he did? Because although his attorney says that he's devastated by the verdict, and I do believe he was devastated because we was looking at his face. It's obvious that he was devastated. Um, but he jumps on his Instagram, or one of his handlers jumped on his Instagram, because I believe it's more than Justin Johnson that works that Instagram, right? Ramona, for some reason, I kind of believe that it's a few of them that's paying for those lawyers, right? One thing that I saw that is a little interesting to me is that I see Moneybagg is starting to promote that 1% guy more, right? That rapper he's 1%. I see now. At first, it was like they weren't really promoting him, but now since Straight Drop didn't say anything, um, it's I don't know. It seems like they're starting to share him and promote him a little more. It's just kind of weird to me. Listen, I pay attention to everything. I do. I pay attention to everything. And I mean, you've had him on the label the whole time. They say he's been, doing shows with them, but it was never promoted. Y'all know the 1% guy that they, when they did the challenge, they claimed that he was the one that won the challenge the whole time. He was already picked, so they tricked the people. And I always said when that guy was when they you know picked that guy, I said I believe that's a way to try and funnel some money. Okay. 10%. I'm sorry, 10%. That 10% guy. Of course, he's going to appeal more money from CMG. Yeah, and they're gonna have to pay it. If they want to keep him, they really got to keep him fed. That's why they was putting out those records. They was putting out those records, and it was not conducive to his livelihood. But they was putting out those records. They was doing all of that, right? um I believe it was to make him think, look, we fulfilling what we said we was going to do for you. We said we was gonna, sign you. Somebody was putting out those records. He had good artwork. When he put out that video, yeah, I do video work. So I know that video when he did when not the one when he was standing at the gas station, but the one that he put after when he had the Bass Pro Shop on there, that was a well treated video. So I know a professional had did that. It was well treated, right? So somebody with some money had paid for that video. So the whole time it looks like somebody was trying to fulfill what they said quietly so that Straight Drop, it wouldn't have been conducive to Straight Drop to start talking. And I'm gonna tell you what guys like Straight Drop do, okay? What guys like Straight Drop do, see, I'm not in the street, but I have worked for the criminal justice system for 18 years. So I'm gonna tell you what guys like Straight Drop do. Really longer. Guys like Straight Drop wait until they have sat in jail, right, for a long time, and probably about 5, 6 years, probably even before then, but around that 5, 6, 7 year mark they start sitting there. They ain't getting no letters. They ain't getting no phone calls. Everybody feels safe. Okay, they feel safe. The case is kind of the sensationalism of the case. They feel like has fizzled out. So the people that they was kind of trying to keep their stomach full so that they would not tell on them. Um, and which in this case is a little tricky because it's another investigation going on. So it's gonna be a lot of it's some more people that's gonna go to jail. But some of those ones that's in the corner that's hoping that nothing is done to them, the ones that Straight Drop is really dependent on, he gonna start sitting there. He gonna start getting mad. And so that's when they start making them calls to Crime Stoppers. I know about a case. I know about a case. I want to give some information on the case. Okay, after the case is, they've gotten all the people that they gonna get or whatever, and some people that didn't get got that he knows should be in jail, he gonna be mad and he gonna want to tell it. It says somebody his baby, yeah, that from my understanding, his baby's mother is with somebody that is affiliated with Heavy Camp. Straight Drop, straight bum, straight dumb. He gave up his life for CMG and he claims to love his daughter. Make right. That was straight dumb. That was straight dumb because nobody could have ever, and that's what these young dudes need to understand. Nobody should ever be able to entice you into doing anything. Especially they say they want to give you a deal. They had the power to just give him a deal without him ever doing what he did. Okay, without him ever doing what he did. So they knew what could happen. They knew from the very start what could happen with them taking down somebody as big as Young Dolph. But I'm gonna tell you something. I really think that they was hoping that they would take down one of his artists, but it would have been just as I get to wondering. I wonder how much was on Key Glock's head because as I told y'all before, I was told that Key Glock, even after they got Young Dolph, Key Glock had a ticket still on his head. See, they thought they would be able to take out Young Dolph, and we saw that, immediately Black Youngster put out that song, that video, being at the graveyard, right? And so we have to, I always say, go back to the beginning. That's why I always like to go back to the beginning of stuff because Black Youngster is still a CMG artist. So in order for him to be able to put out anything, it has to be approved by his CEO, right? So Young Dolph was not even, I don't think he was even buried at that point. They had not even had his funeral. And then he put out a video that was just totally disrespectful on a whole nother level, right? And his boss allowed it. Okay. And his boss allowed it. We saw all the shots and stuff that was that they were throwing out there after that young man was taken out. Just me myself, I definitely take it personally because you know what they did was they put a negative energy and a negative vibe into the atmosphere, making these young dudes, especially around the Memphis area, feel like that they could just take out somebody and troll, right? That's what they did. They used that's what they did. They trolled until, and they had other little dudes to troll until they figured out that trolling was not conducive to their livelihood. Then they tried to go hide up under a rock. But that's killing. He's still waiting for some type of savior crash dummy. But yeah, and then a lot of the stuff that has been put out on their page. Now we know that Straight Drop has had he has a phone quite a bit. I've always said about those phones, you guys. Hold on one second. Okay, I've always said about those phones that Straight Drop was always getting a phone. Straight Drop was always getting a phone. In the beginning, when they found out he had those phones or whatever, it was some crooked jailers. But I think after a while, I think it was a strategy because I'm told that when he was in the hole, one of these last times when he was in the hole and he had a phone, they listened to his conversations 2 weeks before they took the phone. Remember I told y'all that? So I always felt like because Straight Drop had told Cornelius, now I was told he had told Cornelius, don't tell on him, but make sure, he tells on Gotti and Juke. Now that's what I was told. But of course, in court, Cornelius said he said don't tell on him, but tell on Go Man and Juke. Okay. Um, but I think that was a strategy of Straight Drop. Straight Drop is not that dumb. I mean, that's a way of putting out information you already know. Okay, you talking on a phone, a cell phone in the jail. They listening to you. You get on every night after midnight, and you call TZ. I do believe that Juke was called. Okay, I do believe that Juke was called TZ. I believe that there was some phone calls made to Juke talking about some money, and his daughter, right? But and somebody in Houston, right? Let's see. Ray Brown says seems like Dow should have been more careful, had off-duty police as security already hit at him at least 2 times previously, hit him once, but that's hindsight. Hmm. Well, I think young Doc thought he was being careful though. He had his brother with him. His brother had a weapon. Um, I know you can never be too careful, but they had weapons. He had another person with him. He was not by himself. Um, they just, I hate that happen. I don't like. I'm not naive or anything, but it's sad though when people have um to have about 1 million people around them because somebody wants to continuously take their life. What's up, Hitter? What's up, Carolina Red, Aaron Carter? Some of you all I miss. I am She Johnson. He says it's crazy. I was listening to a little double O song, and in the song he kept saying delete a rapper for 20K and a street ninja for 10K, not realizing he was rapping facts about Straight Drop. I tell you, it's really sad. But is he remorseful? It seems like he's not remorseful because if he had gotten off, he just would have jumped on that Instagram and said, "I'm the drop god," you know. But Straight Drop's lawyer knew that that verdict was going to be not guilty. I mean, that verdict was going to be guilty, right? He knew it was going to be guilty. Um, hey, Deborah Logan. They said Whack 100 told Gotti to pack his bags. I tell you, hey, I was listening to that actually a little bit this morning because I had to been up early getting ready to go. I gotta go out, but um yeah. he was saying that they're kind of the way that they're putting it, they're saying that CMG is kind of like a gang so that they can have a reason to bring in a RICO. Now, I know everybody has a difference of opinion as it relates to if Yo Gotti was involved, and they have their right to their difference of opinion, right? But as for me, I've always felt like it's the beef was always with Yo Gotti and Young Dolph, right? Um, and at some point, you know, because Juke and Dolph were pretty cool at one point, right? And then at some point they start beefing and stuff. Um, there's been quite a few different stories about why they were beefing. One was Juke didn't pay Dolph his money or something like that. Who knows what it was? It could have been he, you know, decided he wanted to side with his brother, which many people would, right? Um, I guess. But I've always felt like that he knew and he was very much aware. And now that Juke is no longer here, we have to wonder who's paying for the lawyers. Who's paying for the lawyers? That's the biggest thing because we know Juke can't pay for them. Juke has not been able to pay for them for a while now, for almost a year. So who's paying for them? So that right there is interesting within itself. When Cornelius said himself that CMG paid for his lawyers, I think that he know Cornelius know who paid from CMG. He probably just didn't want to say because one thing that I did notice when Cornelius said when the Paul Hagerman asked Cornelius about straight drop, you know, them getting their money in straight drop, um, getting a deal, right? He said, and yours was to get 40,000. He said, yeah. He said straight drop was to get a deal. I mean, get money and a deal, right? And he said, yeah. He said from CMG. He said, yeah, from Gotti and Juke them. That's what he said. Juke and Gotti. That's what he said. Juke and Gotti. That's what he said. So for some reason, I think it's because of a bigger thing, the bigger thing that is going on. They always wanted to redirect him from talking about certain people for a reason. Um, they said Straight Drop got some money. Lawyers don't have to disclose who's paying. No, they don't have to disclose who's paying them, period. Right, because when Straight Drop's attorney asked Cornelius who was paying him, Cornelius, I wish he had been quicker on his feet and said, when he asked was CMG paying for his lawyers, he should have said, yeah, they paid for him. You know who's paying you. You know, ain't nobody in Mims family or CMG said justice for Juke. Video got over 20 million views. I heard Cornelius is already sent to prison. Um, Deborah, the girl thing is the classic rap insult, but in essence, it was over a female. Um, Kimbo Slice says, well, Juke said on that video that him and his brother had about an M for artists that needed help with payment on jewelry. I just like the live video by B. They said Straight Drop's lawyer, a public defender. Well, I mean, he could start taking money for the state. He could, but he's not he's a private lawyer. He has a private practice. He used to be assistant district attorney for Shelby County. So then he moved to Nashville and opened up a private practice. Okay. So I think, you know, let's see. He a gangster. He ain't go speak on nothing. Took out Dolph. He a local celebrity in Memphis. A lot of people hated Dolph in Memphis, and a lot of people go treat him like a celebrity in jail for that. If a lot of people hated Dolph in Memphis, I don't, you know, I don't hear them say that. Was that some jealousy? It probably was, but to say a lot of people hated him, nobody knew Straight Drop. And I don't think nobody treating him like a celebrity now. Everyone always being about a bag. Bag really means building a generation otherwise. I was listening to one day my cousins, some street dudes, right? They had a friend of theirs over there, and they was talking about some artwork. That when Young Dolph had first started, this guy had did some artwork for him, and he was like, "Man, I told him that he had did some artwork for Dolph. Then Dolph started getting big, and when Dolph started getting bigger, I said he should have messed with you a little bit more." you know, uh, People can really spend their money with who they want to spend their money with. I think that's where people kind of got it confused at. Maybe he found somebody that was doing artwork that was doing it a little better. When you start making more money, you could start paying for a better product, right? I think that's what people kind of have it confused at. Okay, either hey, the man could basically spend his money. I said, what do you mean? I said, did he pay him when he did the artwork? Yeah, he paid him. I said, well, he did mess with him. He did mess with him. And I think that's where people get that confused at, feeling like somebody always owed him something, right? If somebody did business with you and they decide to go and start doing business with somebody else, they can do that. Um, right, a sense of entitlement. Everyone had Art of Dolph. That's love. Get Jones out of here for that comment. Um, because everybody in Memphis didn't hate Dolph. Period. As I said, when people were saying that there was a North Memphis, South Memphis division, I always said I never knew anything about that. There was always a competition with North Memphis and South Memphis rappers. They were not slaughtering each other and taking, that's what I call a war. When they start slaughtering each other and taking each other out and stuff like that, that was not happening. It wasn't happening. So, um, ain't nothing, nothing. It was in the 90s too, because that's when we really started hearing about Memphis rappers. The late 80s and 90s, they were not slaughtering each other and stuff. They were not doing that. They may have been competitive, as far as, North Memphis rappers better than South Memphis rappers, or South Memphis rappers are better. But as far as there being like a division and a war, don't y'all know that Memphians have family that lives all over the city? So you living in South Memphis, your aunties and stuff might have a house in North Memphis. So I mean, everybody had family and still do all over the city of Memphis, just like it would be in any other city. It seems as if everyone is not remembering a few weeks before Dolph was taken out. Chuck posted a picture of Justin on his story with the caption, "You ready for your chain?" Oh wow. See, I don't remember that. Y'all make sure y'all get the likes up. And Juke and Glock's encounter at the airport. Yeah, I heard about Juke's and Glock's encounter at the airport. Antoine says shouldn't be competition, especially for material things created for usage. It's the way we choose to think. Change the way we think, our circumstances will change. Christian says, "Good morning, Tamara. Listening to you live. Just hit the thank you, love. I appreciate that so much. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Yeah, I was so tired yesterday when I got home. I fell out and I went to bed early. Like I said, my mama called me and said, You sleep." I said, "I'm so tired. I'm so tired." And I gotta get out and I gotta do some things this morning. I got to go get my mother and we gotta go down to the FBI building and then I gotta go work. Um, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for me. But is he remorseful? I don't know. He's sitting behind that wall. I mean, people try to play bad until the end, but I bet you that Negro regret what he did. He might not be remorseful, but he is regretting that he messed his life over. He got to sit behind that wall for the rest of his life. Nothing says Hagerman sent the table for federal trial, set the table for federal trial. Absolutely did. He absolutely did for the federal trial and the state trial. Aaron Carter says, nope. That's what he did. And he also set the tone. And thank you for the $10 super sticker, nothing. He also set the tone for them to be able to file a wrongful death lawsuit. Lauren says he don't have an ounce of remorse. He just regret he just regret getting caught. He just regret getting caught. They say Govan is not getting charged with anything, the case, and he's supposed to do an interview with Say Cheese. Oh, really? I don't know. Because after the trial, I saw what they, I forget the guy named Jeremy Pierre asked Paul Hagerman. He says, "Well, we can only handle one case at a time. So we just handled." He said, "We just handled Justin Johnson, and there are two more other defendants in this case that we got to handle." And he said that's Cornelia Smith and Hernandez Govan. But hey, I don't know. Like I said, I really don't know what's going on with Hernandez Govan, but I do know that something is going on with another case. I do know something is going on with another case. And I don't talk about that case a lot because I was asked not to. I really have never spoken about it a whole lot. But it's I think that train is choo-chooing on a track. And we're probably gonna start hearing about it after a while. Tracy says, "Yep, this is only the beginning. He's not supposed to do interviews. Govan is under the Alfred clause." They said Quet's hearing is October 9th. The word is he will be let go, and he is currently shopping for interviews. Hmm. Oh wow. Antoine says, "Check out all the phone records, and the truth will be revealed." People been saying change the way we think since I was a kid and hasn't worked yet. Like I said, I don't know. Quick cases is one of those cases that people I don't really know about because his stuff is sealed. So that's something that ain't really got out. So I guess he would know. I don't know. The only thing I know is that at this point he's still charged with the same thing. Um, isn't he still charged with the exact same charges? So I don't know. Fed witness, they say it's your boy Yo Gate, Feds in town. My guy, the hitter, what up? Um, hmm, I tell you, I don't know. It's a lot more to go in the case. It's definitely not. I think I always spoke about with Justin Johnson that this was just the beginning, and Paul Hagerman put out there himself that there were a lot of people that lost their life that was involved in this case. He said that. Um, Desco Raven says that's what I heard that Quet will walk due to him cooperating. Um, Miss Muffin says nothing, nothing. Let's see. Keep trying to close on the screen. I'm at work. No one hasn't chosen to change, so nothing will change. We all live by choices, and the straight drop probably won't have any remorse until after he's sitting in, after all of his appeals have been exhausted. At some point, whoever is paying for those appeals as the case, they'll probably pay for the first appeal. Keep paying the lawyer for the first appeal. But whoever paying for the appeals probably ain't gonna have no money after a while. But I think it's quite a few of them that's paying for those lawyers. When Fed's in town, you and your peeps can't move and talk on the phone like one would want to stress level on high. Raven 100, what you said, bingo. When that money slow down and them visits stop, that's when Drop gonna wake up. That's exactly when he gonna wake up. Cause see, them dudes that's been messing with him, life gonna go on. They gonna forget about him. They gonna forget about him. See, things start to change on the outside. Your kids grow up. People in your life pass. And sometimes they pass changes. They grow up. They don't really want to have anything to do with you anymore. Or some of them become crackheads and get strung out and forget who you are. When that money slow down and them visits stop, that's when Drop gonna wake up. Quet has a proffer agreement like Keefe D. He has already told the federal government what they need. Oh wow. Well, I guess the only thing we could do is because Quet goes to court next week, right? I think it's next Wednesday. The only thing we could do is see. You know, um, I mean, there could be a lot of rumors out, but we'll have to see. Our straight drop family and associates that help being harassed, their names and pics got shown at the trial. Not heard anything about Straight Drop's family being harassed. I never felt that the energy was of any hate as it was as it related to Straight Drop's family. I didn't. As a matter of fact, I didn't see his family's pictures and stuff. Well, his mother's picture, but I as far as that, I have not heard of Stray Drop's family being harassed at all. Because if people are harassing them, that wouldn't be right. Ashley says, right, his helpers will grow and want even be around when he is 6 years. A lot of them are already being gone on somewhere, died and gone on. So they said, why folks trying to bring Soldier Boy back here to? Well, I'm gonna just tell you something, Alabama here. I always felt like Soldier Boy had some type of part in it. I ain't gonna even lie. I've done videos on it. Soldier Boy was too involved. Soldier Boy was too involved, and um, hey, just when Soldier Boy was high on that lean and stuff, he might have put, I don't, I always felt like it was something there. I always felt like it was something there. Soldier Boy was too involved. Just some things that Soldier Boy said. When Soldier Boy, got mad at Key Glock, Soldier Boy said, yeah, I always felt like Soldier Boy. I've done videos on that. I always felt like he had some type of involvement. Because remember now, they said that Soldier Boy, that Juke had some folks walking Soldier Boy around North Memphis and stuff, escorting him around North Memphis. He might have put, he was, remember when he got mad and he was on his live and somebody, this was like a little bit after Young Dolph was taken out, and Soldier Boy, Cypher said Soldier Boy was just a distraction. and they brought up you trying to be like Key Glock. He said, I ain't trying to be like no nigga. He said, don't. He started getting. He got real mad, and he said, don't come on. Y'all ain't learned. Y'all ain't learned from what happened the last time. So he basically told it, and then he had to think about what he said. There was definitely a connection between. Yeah, that was. I just always felt like somehow I don't know what his involvement is, but I always felt like he had some type of involvement. Um, the hitter says, I feel like Soldier Boy was clout chasing, and when it went bad, he got scared. Tracy says, when the end don't justify the middle, you got a problem, and when you don't have two things to match, it's problem. Houston. Straight Drop was calling when he was in Houston. Because remember now, somebody told me that what had happened to Big Jug, they believe came out of Houston. And somebody in law enforcement said that. I wonder who Straight Drop was talking to on the phone when he was in that hole in Houston. Um, when the end don't justify the middle, you got a problem. Let's see. Does he not taking the witness stand imply he could be a fed witness on down the road? It could. I don't listen. Tracy said Tamara on the case. I'm telling you, I paid close attention to this case. I paid close attention to the case, and I'm not to try to solve it. I don't do stuff like that, but I've just paid close attention to every moving part in the case. And Govan from Houston and got arrested in Houston, or his daughter got his daughter. I believe Govan's daughter was something happened to her in Houston. Um, Robin Michelle said somebody needs to FYA Straight Drops phones. I'm gonna tell y'all. Y'all want to know what I think went on with Straight Drops phones. I believe Straight Drop wanted to tell on certain people because he got mad. And like I was saying before, I said I don't think Straight Drop is that dumb. So I believe he wanted to tell on certain people. And what he did was he knew that them people, he got cameras and stuff, and he has cameras with audio. They have cameras that are voice activated in the jail. I worked for the sheriff's office for a lot of years, so I know. I remember when they got them. They got good cameras, that's voice activated, which means every time there's a sound, it picks it up. So he had to be talking. He was talking. I believe that Straight Drop didn't, the ones that he wanted to tell on, he got on their phone and called them so that those cameras can pick up the voice. Yes, he did. That may have been a warning. Freedom of Information Act. Does anyone know? He sure did. He sure did say that, Miss T. Then said, I'm trying to get a nigga gone. Yeah, that's what he said. I'm trying to get. I've always felt like there was something there with Soldier Boy. I've always felt that way. And maybe Cornelius and them Straight Drop might know. Hernandez Govan might know, but Cornelius might not know. Soldier Boy has gotten real quiet. Let's see. As soon as I heard about Gotti brother paid for the hit, I remember I follow you. Laugh out loud. The hell with the news. You have been on this case, Miss Lady. Thank you, on code always. There was so much stuff that people would tell me that I would forget, and then there was a lot of stuff. Even like now, they would say to me, and I was like, I don't think that would be. I don't feel comfortable even putting that out there. That right there just has to come out on its own, because people cannot. Some people are so messed up in the head they just can't decipher that if I say something and I tell y'all I work for the PD and I got some people that I talk to, then if they tell me, that's because they already know. Their minds is saying they were so scared and so twisted. How she know that? What's she doing knowing that? Straight Drop is smarter than people think. He gave that card to the brother to bring up reasonable doubt, and Will was it him or his bro. He got away with it before, and it made him feel he could do it. Y'all remember when I told y'all I first started vlogging on the case? See, a lot of these little dudes gave themselves away. And one of my friends that worked for the police department was like, I don't think it would be a good thing for you to vlog on a case. And I was like, well, be neutral. I'm going to be neutral. I'm not going to say anything bad or anything about anybody. And for a long time, I was until they really started trolling me, right? And I started realizing that they had their trolls on the internet to try and try and shut anybody up that was going to talk about the case. I'm the type, if you think you're going to stop me, that's going to make me push at it even more. I'm stubborn like that, right? And so but remember I told y'all that a lot of the tips that they got, that they be on the internet and they're able to um like, okay, so remember I told y'all like somebody was harassing me, right? And the person was harassing me for a long time, and I ended up filing some reports and stuff. Person came to my job, my office and all of that, and was just harassing me via social media. And it was about this case, right? And I ended up filing reports and letting them know that it was about this case. And we ended up going to court. The person ended up having to get arrested and all of that stuff because of all of just crazily harassing me about, and it was about this case. Well, the investigators, I knew at that point they are able to trace everything. They have a relationship with Google. So they hacked my email and tried to delete all of the messages, harassing messages that they had sent me. And I remember telling the investigator, it's a lot of stuff went on with that I didn't talk about. They deleted the emails. He said, "Don't worry about it. We'll be able to get them." And got them. Called me a couple weeks later and said, "We got all the emails." I said, "The deleted ones." He said, "We got all of them. Google sent them all." So Google has a relationship. Google and YouTube are the same people. So what I didn't say to you all was when they were um um like the Google phone stuff that they got going on, they able to get that stuff. They just able to get it all. And so what I didn't tell you all was when I said that person had harassed me. Remember, I said that it came from that side. I said one of the people that was involved in that is still in jail right now. When they was doing all that threatening and stuff, they was able to. These folks gave themselves away. That came from JoJo Splat in them little camp. I never said nothing, but it came from that little camp. I'm talking about as far as when I first started, and it was like, your people ain't gonna, they was like, your friends ain't gonna be able to save you. You better stop talking about this case and all of that. When I told you, I said I was even being neutral. And one of my friends that work at the PD kept going back checking the comments. He said, I knew that they was gonna threaten you. I knew that they was. I had no idea that I had got a threat. And he called me and said, "You got a threat?" But they was able to trace that. Um, Good morning. I hope I am not late. So they've taken everything very seriously because it has been a lot of people yeah, it's a lot of stuff that I don't talk about. There have been a lot of people to end up, listen, everything can be traced. When I tell you everything can be traced. Nothing, the government, they're never going to allow anything to be put out there until it has first been, I guess, accomplished or whatever, before the government has mastered it. I know people don't ever think that they're going to be smarter than the government when they're the ones that put the shit out. They approve for it to be put out. Okay. You all make sure y'all hit the like button for me. Make sure you all hit the like button. Please like, share, and subscribe. Okay. Please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. But it's been a lot. I was told very early on, and I probably talked about it. I don't even know if I've ever done a vlog on Jeremiah Taylor. But I was told very early on, do not talk about that. If do not vlog on that case. I know you grown, but I'm telling you, do not do it. And I've never really vlogged on it. I really never talked about Jeremiah Taylor at all because I know it's something serious now. It's it probably be something going on right now. I do believe that Jeremiah is going to get justice. You know, it probably be something going on right now. Um, to ensure of that. Tracy said it's called cyberbullying. HD. No, there were other violations too. Tracy. There were other violations. HDJ says the government is at least 20 years ahead of my absolutely. Um, they've already by the time that we start getting a lot of the stuff that we got, they already had it years ago, and they've upgraded to something else that masters that. Coney Island, Brooklyn. Shout out to Coney Island, Brooklyn. I love New York so much. Lauren says, I just feel like it's at least 4 or 5 unalivings connected to the people in Daw's case. Let's see. One, two, three. I know a three for sure. I do know of three, I've heard of three, but I've heard of three. Um, now be the first to admit I don't think Jeremiah had anything to do with Dolph. I was wrong. Yeah, hitter. Yeah, I was told that I yeah, yeah. The satellite is the satellite is undefeated. The satellite is undefeated. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for me, okay? Please like, share, and subscribe. I know I got up. I'm early. Yeah, I went to bed. I was so tired yesterday, and I gotta get back. I gotta go over to somewhere today. Then I gotta get out and work again. The I was hired to do a job. Mm. Raven said that they've had combos with Jeremiah's family. They don't believe that she says that Jeremiah's family don't believe that it had anything to do with what happened to Doll. I don't know, Raven. I don't know. I was told something different, but I guess we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. TT says, is Cornelius doing time or what he should still go to jail? Now Cornelius is gonna do time. They told Cornelius that he was going to do time. And I know that kind of leaves it open. As it relates to Jeremiah, when I was told about Jeremiah, of course, the cookie shop was not involved. Okay. I don't want nobody to say, see me, because they took my words and twisted it the other day when I said I had people sending me messages. Miss T, they said you had said that two women was gonna be indicted and it was gonna be Raven and her mama. I said I never said that. When I put out when I said on my video the other day that I was told about two women, I was like, Lord, people twist your words. But well, I had a conversation with somebody, but they didn't say that. They didn't say anything. They still didn't say nothing about the cookie shop. But it was. I don't. Anyways, I don't talk about Jeremiah's case. It's one thing to talk about a case like we do, and it's one thing to insert yourself into a situation you have nothing to do with. I'm glad that those fools are in jail. That's true. Tamara, what keto breakfast do you suggest? Okay. I do turkey bacon, and I chop up bell peppers and onions and put it in an egg and cheese and put it in a muffin pan and put it in the oven. And that's what I'm going to do now while I'm on the run. Instead of stopping at Starbucks, I make my own, and it's more flavorful and it tastes better, and it keeps me full for a long time while I'm sitting out, because I gotta be out I gotta do some stuff later on today. Um, you actually said unequivocally it wasn't Raven. Good morning, Miss T. Hey, Mr. Parker, I haven't seen you in here. We're gonna have a conversation. We got to have a conversation. Mr. Parker normally always be in the chat. We're gonna have to have a conversation. Kevin says, we have to look bigger than the Dolph case. There have been about 30 unalivings due to street crime. I'm gonna tell y'all something. And if it's Memphians in here, they know also. Okay. Um, question is, go van the feds star witness. I don't know, Mark. That's Go van is another one. That's a case that you can't hardly get nobody to say nothing about because everything is sealed. Um, what was I getting ready to say? I was getting ready to say something. Oh, when young Doc was first taken out, it was a lot going on. It's been a lot going on. Oh, you've been in here every time. How come I ain't seen you in here? It was a lot going on, you know. And I think that's one of the reasons why, I was so emotional, because y'all know I'm emotional, right? And these young men, they go, these dudes that have money, they don't use their money responsibly, right? And so what they do is they pay these young dudes in the hoods to go out and take out people. And then look at what they did. Remember, Cornelius said when they first asked him about the unaliving of young Dolph, he said it wasn't enough money. Can you imagine how much they tried because they wasn't gonna give him but $800 anyway. They felt like he was a pillhead. He should have been happy. And so, but there was a lot of stuff going on. As far as like shootings and it was a lot going on. It was a lot going on because you had people in South Memphis saying, it's I remember a guy saying that it was about 13 um people that had lost their life after that. Now I don't know about no 13, but he lived in South Memphis. I don't know if he was exaggerating, but he says that right after Young Dolph, and it could have been fans of, you never know who it was. Um, People hurt. It was a lot of folks hurt when they killed that boy like that. So he said it was about 13 people that lost their life right afterwards, like within, like back to back to backs. It was something going on because Chief Davis, as you know, said for the citizens, if you ain't got to go outside, please stay in your house. So she knew of something that was going on. One thing I do know about police departments, I don't know why they do this. When there is something that's going on, they don't want to send pandemonium through the public. So what they'll say is their words are, just stay in because it might not be good to go out, instead of saying these folks out here spinning. Okay, keep your asses in the house. Don't even go outside until we get this under control. But they won't do that. You had me laughing when you said they tried to treat him like a crackhead and he cracked. Yeah. The clear people in the town have not forgotten what happened at the FedEx Forum. Old Money did not like that. Right. Old Money didn't like that. The FedEx Forum, across the street from the FedEx Forum, anywhere in the downtown Memphis area, that's where the money is. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's where anytime something happens around the downtown, the Harbor Town area, that's the money. All the NBA players, all the baseball players, all of the politicians, all of that long money lives in that area. And so when something happens, it's gonna be taken care of. Remember now, they was hurrying up when that situation happened um at their restaurant with Moneybag Yo's artists. They was it's a lot of money. It's a lot of old money, long money around those areas. And I'm gonna tell you something. That's the reasons why they was on them, because Tugs is a restaurant that you go up in Tugs to really network, because it ain't nothing but money up in there. And so the lawyers hang out, the politicians, the real millionaires, those ball players, because they live back there, So they had to hurry up, and there had to be some type of resolution as it relates to that. So it seems like to me there's always police cars around consistently around the downtown area. Um, and the guy who unalived Black youngster brother who just passed, they've been yeah, and you have to wonder, but I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen with that too. You have to wonder why. Now it is, they say now, I was reading that the boy that took out Black youngster's brother was taken out back in May. Why did they not say anything about that? Why all of a sudden now they are allowing the media to put it out? uh they didn't say if anyone knows anything. I mean, they've been kind of quiet about it, and that's because it's something going on. Always pay attention to when the police department is trying to be quiet about something. When law enforcement is being really quiet about something, that means it's something bigger that's going on. And even still, when the news media put it out, they was very vague, the police department, about what they told him. That's because they they more than likely already know what happened to him and where it came from, right? And something is being worked on. Had to go under my other page since my question is being ignored. Okay, Lord have mercy. I didn't see your questions. Um, it says Angelique, yes, it was on the news. They said he was out, right? He was out on bond. And they had quietly reduced his second degree unaliving to manslaughter. So I'm sure that probably really pissed somebody off. I'm sure they said, "Oh hell no!" In which people should be mad. You take out a man, Black youngster's brother. I'm told he was hardworking. He was hardworking. He worked on cars. He did. He took care of his family and all of that. Um, he was anyways, it was, but so of course I would have been upset too, the mere fact that they dropped it from second degree to manslaughter. But when people are mentally ill and they, I know, well, we don't know what happened. but something happened. They say he was walking out of his house, right, and somebody hit him as he was coming out of his house while he was out on bond. Somebody hit him, so he was definitely targeted. Yes, Tugs is nice. My job had our holiday party. Tugs is very nice. Angelique says, okay, I know I said keto on my ass, but I think I would try some keto meals and how it works. You'll love it. You'll love it. Let me know when you come up with recipes and share them with me. Shoot, we share recipes. Anybody else want to join this keto thing with us? That'd be a good thing. The more people to join, we could swap recipes so that we don't get bored with just certain stuff. I do have a keto cookbook. I need to get a keto soul food cookbook though. They said black youngsters disrespect and talk too much. Let's be real. Mm. Well, it's gonna be interesting to see what happened to him, to the young man. It's gonna be interesting when law enforcement gets quiet. The RICO is coming. Yeah, and like I said, now y'all just pay. If y'all go back and pay attention. And it's something about. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I always go back and listen to Cornelius's statement. Every time I go back and listen to the statement, it's more and more that I hear that I missed before. Cornelius really told you everything you need to know. Hey, Kevin. They were arguing at the gas station, ongoing feud. Youngster's brother caught him trying to steal a car, let him slide. Previously, dude shot him and he walked away. Yeah, that was just evil. Black Youngster's brother, when he caught him in his yard trying to take a car, I think they said they got into a fight and Black Youngster's brother whooped his ass. Now, anybody else probably would have taken him out. You in my yard trying to steal my stuff. But because he knew him, he just gave him an old fashioned ass whooping. And so when he saw him again at the gas station, they say the guy saw Black Youngster's brother at the gas station. I believe he went in there with intentions on taking him out. Black Youngster's brother was already in there when he walked in. And so they said that they got into it again, and then he didn't walk away. To me, that's first degree because he had the opportunity to leave. It really should have been first degree. Black Youngster's brother walked back over to his car, get ready to pump his gas, and that boy went over there and hit that boy in the back of his head. So it should have been first degree. To me, that was premeditated. He had time to think about that. And so, before my friend was saying that, because it's her cousin, my best friend. She was saying that before the police even got there, they was able to run up there, and he was in a fetal position, right? They was able to run up there, and he was in a fetal position on the side of his car before they ran up there. She said they got around there before the police and the ambulance even got there. So I remember one of my subs had shout out to Holiday Tracks. He had sent me a message. He was like, it was a shooting at the gas station, and they say it's Black Youngster's brother. And so I was thinking about that. I was like, it probably ain't. I was like, well, I'm best friends with his. Let me call my friend. And when I called her, and all I could hear was screaming and hollering and crying, I when she picked up the phone, I knew I knew it. I knew that. I was like, it's got to be true. Um, Angelique says, I meant to say, if they brought down mafia bosses, it ain't nothing to bring down CMG. That's true. Tambora says, hello, Tamara. Hey, Tambora. Um, I tell you, Kevin, now you got to watch out for the Alti, the Altimus, the Altimus, the Altimus. What's the Altimus? KS says, I still feel like Cornelius was holding stuff back, pretending like he didn't know who paid for a lawyer, either because he will testify again or scared he tell on the real shooter. Oh, wow. Hmm. You all make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, please like, share, and subscribe. I still feel like Cornelius was holding stuff back, pretending like he didn't know who paid for lawyers because either he was, yeah, he said CMG, but I believe, for some reason, I believe that the prosecutors told Cornelius, okay, I believe that the prosecutors told Cornelius to not say too much of about, not to really name people within CMG, and I think they said that for a reason. It's not what the police department says, it's what they don't. Angelique, you absolutely right. It's not what they say, it's what they don't say. He said, Nisa. Um, he says, you are so right. Nissan makes any in, so the part swap. Lord have mercy. Y'all hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. Okay. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Okay. We were talking about Straight Job's lawyer claims that he is devastated after the reading of the verdict. That's what he claims, that he is devastated after the reading of the verdict. But is he remorseful though? Like I said, I was told he back down in the cell rocking. Y'all know that's why I get so mad when some of these grown older people in their 40s and stuff. I mean, we're straight drop in them are in their 20s. I have a child. I have kids and stuff that are around straight drop's age. I could be his mother. So I can understand how these people also in their 40s and stuff sit up and think that it's okay to send these little kids, well, they're not kids, but these young adults out that are young enough to be their kids to ruin their lives. To me, that's messed up. And to see adults trying to celebrate because some of them feel like they feel like because Straight Drop didn't talk. Because I'm gonna tell you something. When Straight Drop had that other attorney, Ganguly has always been good at making deals. Ganguly had Straight Drop almost to the point before when he didn't have a lawyer, they had him almost to the point of talking. Ganguly told Straight Drop to save his self, and he was about to do it because they weren't messing with him. And that's when Luke Evans was retained. He said, "When do I get my counseling session?" Um, he says, right, Black Youngster's brother was just protecting his property. Right, he was just, and he did, and the boy had such humility. He didn't even shoot him and kill him. He could have. He didn't do it. He was on his property. Yep, CMG, they swooped in because Straight Drop was at a point of talking, and they hurry up and got Ganguly out the way. They hurry up and got him out the way because Ganguly around the Memphis area is known for making plea deals. He the plea king. Cornelius agreed with the attorney that CMG paid for his legal fees, but he made it a point to say that he didn't know what person paid. Yeah, he's still trying to protect somebody unless the prosecutors told him we don't want you to say in this trial who paid. That might be for another something else that's going on. Ray Brown says, like Scott Rosenblum is in my city. He was like, I don't know. Mm. The Fed still know Gotti and CMG is involved. They sure know Thurston. Uh-huh. Yeah, he the plea deal lawyer. He is. And I'm telling y'all, he was on the verge of a plea. He was gonna do it. And that's when Luke Evans was retained. So if they got him to that point one time before, y'all think he won't get to that? Well, I mean, he won't get to a point of, especially because once he go, what, who in here from around the Tennessee area? Because I'm trying to think of um straight drop will more than likely go to a somewhere in Tennessee. I'm trying to think of what facility they may send him to serve out the rest of his life. It'll be up there somewhere around Nashville. He says Lil 16B Entertainment. Hello, love. How are you? Nellie Lawyer, aka Scott Free. Okay, she said she's from Memphis. I'm trying to think of what facilities. I know sometimes they send them up to Whiteville. Hey, Giselle, I know sometimes at River Bend, they send them. Is River Bend in Whiteville? I know they sent them up there to Whiteville. Um, I know they was building some type of facility around on the outskirts of Nashville. Okay, they sent them up there to Whiteville. Okay. Attorney Center. Can he legally come back and say he knows who paid when he's already testified? Well, I mean, I that has happened, you know, even after but I think something, I don't know, something has to be worked out because there have been people that have been in jail, remember now, for a long time. And then when they decide if a case is still open and they decide they want to start talking, they say, can some stuff be revised? I do believe it can happen, but the judge has to be in agreement and all of that. There has to be some more hearings and stuff for that. You got Morgan County for East Tennessee. They may send him out of state with it being a high profile case. I'm in Nashville. Riverbend is here. Okay. I think a lot of them go up there to Riverbend also. What about that tweet Gotti made about paying for lawyers that mysteriously disappeared? Listen, I think I remember it now that you said. I do remember he said, if my nigga go to jail, I'm gonna bail him out. He probably go to Northeast on the other side of Tennessee. Uh, the OGTV says, and will our horn be questioned? Horn is gonna be questioned. There's a difference between telling everything and telling everything that you know. I don't believe Cornbread knew everything. I don't believe Cornbread knew everything either. Cornbread didn't even know that they got more money. Okay, I don't think he even knew that because Straight Drop got more than $40,000, I believe. Because if Mr. N say that the offer, if Mr. N says that the offer to in the beginning was $250,000, I just think Cornbread only knew about 100,000, and he gets 10, he get 50, and straight. That's what they told Cornbread. Okay, I believe they worked out something else. And then they still initially didn't even give him that. But it all worked out the way that it should have worked out because it wasn't right. It was not right. You get out and and then I don't know if Cornbread is even remorseful because he says, Cornbread says, I just wanted some money. He says, if they send him to Trousdale Turner's, he's done. That's Nashville, Kentucky. Um, if he goes out of state and Federal Forest City, Arkansas is where he would be for safety. They send them to wherever they have beds open in Tennessee. Riverbend is rough and Nashville loves Doll. Nashville doesn't care for CMG. Gotti has done bad business with our local good artists and blackballed them. Ray Myers says Northeast is a mountain city over other by Kentucky, Virginia, and North Carolina. I say there because they max gang unit and that stuff. Tried to offer the main 7K one last time. I think that's all he had left. Yeah, I wonder who got Cornelius money. I wonder who they give Cornelius money to. If Govan says that Gotti confirmed the hit on the phone call, it's over. You can be in your 40s and be so emotionally mature. Age does not equate wisdom. That's so true. That's so true. They sending him to California prison. Justin's brother on his mom's side is currently locked up somewhere in Tennessee. I can't remember exactly. I wonder will they put him in the same facility? They might. Riverbend is where the violent offenders go. Govan and CEOTs. For some reason, I believe that. I believe that Govan and CEOTs got Cornbread's money. And Straight Drop Gay or somebody got it. But it probably was them. He took the 7K, he sent it to his sister. Quit probably took it and blamed everyone but Angelique says, I think Luke Evans gave him unwise counsel on purpose. Luke Evans was not hired to really help Straight Drop. You have to think about now who was paying Luke Evans. Luke Evans' loyalty was to whoever was paying him, and it wasn't Straight Drop. She says Teasy got the money. Teasy got Cornbread's money. Yeah, I wonder what happened to Teasy. Something. I don't know. Chief Davis hurry up and ran out there and took whatever he had on his person off. FBI can't go to a scene of a Memphis police crime scene and say, "Give me what you got." It would have to be the superior officer to go and make that command to the MPD officers, and then she handed over to the FBI. And I think that's what happened. But why Straight Drop holding location and lower level is in the hole or at men's seg for safety reasons. Well, he's in high profile custody in lower level. He only go to the hole when he act up. But I don't think he been acting up lately because he can't stop rocking. Yeah, Teaser was in Jamaica. Teaser went to Jamaica and everything. So, what is going on with Damn It Man, Tamara? Did you shoot down his advances and hurt his feelings? Talk about Kevin. You guys, make sure y'all hit the like button for me. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Okay. Like, share, and subscribe. He says the doc that comes out about this one day is going to be fire. He said it's the said it's the rocking for me. Lord have mercy. And that's a shame for a 26-year-old to be rocking back and forth like that because his life is basically over. his life is basically over. Luke Evans talking about some appeals. I'd like to know who's gonna be paying Luke Evans though. I want to know who's gonna be paying him. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that like button for me. Like, share, and subscribe. Mhm. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe for me, okay? Said that Justin Johnson's mother showed up. Listen, Paper Route Wu said that the trial was over with the first day. Okay, the trial was over with the first day. He said, Paper Route Wu said they had so much evidence that they didn't even use in this trial. So Straight Drop's mother was not there. Maybe that's why he kept looking back. He kept looking back to see if, somebody was going to show up for him. What's up, Holiday Tracks? Oh, okay, she said she knows the family personally. Maybe they didn't show up out of, for their safety, but I don't know. I don't know. You would think all those people that was egging him on, telling him he did the right thing and that was egging him on, helping him to ruin his life. I guess they just there to help him ruin his life, right? You would think all those people would have been there for him. Talking the ones that was talking about free straight drop. I wonder why they weren't up in there for him. I wonder why they weren't up in there for him. So they get on and they say free straight drop, help him to ruin his life and all of that, right? But I'm gonna tell y'all something. This right here should be a lesson to all of these young men. Okay, this should be a lesson to all of these young men that these folks don't care anything about you. They get you to do their dirty work. It's gonna be interesting to see how this stuff turned out as it relates to Big Juke. That's another case you don't really hear anybody talking about. Um, I, I would love to, I want to see how that's going to turn out in the end, if anything ever comes up with that. But what we do know is, Straight Drop still had some people on the outside that that claimed that they were loyal to him. Oh wow. Mm, it's over for Dumb Drop. Cornbread is not remorseful because you could tell he is still vexed about getting. Yeah, cornbread don't really. Somebody came into my comments. I hollered. I spit water and stuff every hour. It tickled me so bad. Somebody posting in my comments. It made me so that she said it made me so mad when cornbread when cornbread said I'm ready to start my healing process. She said I hope he get life in prison. We hope for the best. We put it in the hands of the Lord. We hope for the best. I think ran up there and killed that man like that. We just put it in the hands of the Lord. I'm ready to start my healing process. Like somebody did something to him. He shattered a whole family. He shattered a whole family. And he's sitting up talking about his healing process. Says will they air his court appearance? I don't know. Um, I don't know. I need to check that out. I need to check into that. I'm gonna see. I'll let you all know. TT, what part of town was Teasy hit at? He in Orange Mound. Um, I think on the same street that they be on every day. Y'all have to understand too, Teasy wore those Pooh Shiesty masks. So off of Bunton. Yeah, that's the street that they be on all the time, right? Too Good Jones says healing for what? Not getting the money. Um, I guess that's what it is. I never thought about that. He said healing for what? Not getting the money. I guess so. Lord have mercy. They said the feds got to watch in and everybody big is attached to Boosie. Look, Orange Mound Quick gonna post on his page that we put our eyes on our money as much as we did on that trial. We wouldn't have to sell ass, pay our bills. Oh Lord have mercy. I don't have to sell no ass to pay my bills. Real talk with Tamara, and that's why I think Luke Evans railroaded him. Yeah, because Luke Evans know he should have told. Luke Evans know he should have told his client to take a deal. What did even though Straight Drop's attorney, I mean Cornelius's attorney was paid by CMG, Cornelius' attorney had already told Cornelius to just cooperate with the feds. I think that Straight Drop wanted to cooperate in another way, but Luke Evans was hard though. He is all right. We going to trial with what they think they got. He knew that they couldn't win. I wonder why Straight Drop recruited Cornelius instead of Teasy. I think they recruited. It's some stuff that didn't come out. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I was told that they had their eyes on Young Dolph that Monday, and he had too many people around him. Right? Remember, that's when he was at the cancer center and all of that. I think whoever it was that he had with him that day, according to Cornelius, it was not him. They got spooked, and they decided we just gonna go ahead, get the druggie. I think some people backed out. They decided no, they ain't want to do it. Or Straight Drop said nigga was too scared to do it, and this, and that. And that's when Cornelius came up. They gave him some pills because you saw how when he jumped out, it looked like he was about to drop the weapon. I said Justin wasn't railroading. Give me a break. Life is all about choices and decisions. Shorty Max said so was Teaser leaving Jay Fizzle baby mama's house. Um, okay, so this is what the young lady, I watched the young lady that they said that Teaser, he was living with that girl. That girl used to mess around with Jay Fizzle, but they didn't have any children. They used to mess around. They didn't have any children. I went all the way back and looked at her Facebook page, like from years back, right? Looked at her post when she and Jay Fizzle were communicating. When Jay Fizzle was saying, it was he wanted for her. He said now because Jay Fizzle like having babies. She already had 2 children, and that's all she had. Jay Fizzle was like, he said he wanted her to get pregnant. She already had 2 children at that time, and that's all she had when she was with Teasy, 2 kids. So she was not his baby mama. I guess it was somebody that he had, he was messing with. And it was somebody that he had messed with a while ago, and then, she started messing with Teasy. Because remember now, the young lady says that she said that Teasy had FaceTime her. He was sitting over there by it. I believe was that the church that he was found in the back of. She said he was sitting over there by the church. I paid close attention to stuff that I didn't say nothing about because I didn't want people, I didn't want people going to harass the young lady. Um, but she says that TZ had FaceTime her and to prove that he was where he said he was. He was sitting over there by that church where he was hit up at, and he was just sitting there. So if he was just sitting there, y'all, that means that he was sitting there waiting on somebody, right? Why would he just be parked right there by that church? So that means whoever pulled up on him, he was probably waiting on, and they hit him up. I mean, that's just my guess. According to the young lady, because she was going back and forwards with some of his family members and stuff. She says that some of T's family members had went to homicides on her. Now remember that this young lady was her father had passed away, and her back in like 15 or something like that, when she was a little girl. And her father was Yo Gotti's best friend. So this young lady is Yo Gotti's goddaughter. From my understanding, I do know that Yo Gotti, because it was in the commercial appeal in Memphis, was a pallbearer at his funeral. They were best friends, and from my understanding, he made Yo Gotti her godfather. They got TZ phone records, so they know who he was meeting. Right. That's why Chief Davis made that scene, and she did not let the officers tag it. She got TZ's. I'm told she got 2 phones off of TZ and a watch. And she didn't let them tag it. She had the federal agents out there, and I believe she passed that stuff on to them. The whole truth behind Desmond Rogers unaliving and Trayon's full involvement is going to dig up a lot. Because it seems to me that Trayon is cooperating. It seems to me that Trayon is cooperating. I was looking at some pictures of Trayon one day. He was a football player. He was involved in sports and stuff like that. I really hate that. But they say he had a job also. Didn't the young man say that Trayon had a job? He was working for FedEx or for somewhere. He had a job. I don't know why these young men get themselves involved in stuff that is not conducive to their livelihoods. Straight Drop Lawyer should have encouraged him to plead. Yeah, Straight Drop Lawyer was not hired to he was hired to make sure he didn't plead. Well, then she must have 3 kids then, Joe. She must have 3 kids then. Because maybe we ain't talking about the same person, because if we're talking about the young lady that I was looking at on Facebook, um, and I do know that she had communications with him. I saw the pictures during that time. She already had 2 children. She already had 2 little girls. Um, Lauren Shell says, I hope Anita Wilson gets the justice she deserves. That was so senseless. Lauren says he worked for the trash. Okay, he worked for the trash company. Okay, so then that means he was making a pretty good check, and then he going and mess his life up. What made him go do that? Y'all, I got me some good cucumbers from the market. And before the season is out, I went down to the market in Millington. Y'all know the market in Millington, orchids, orchids, yeah. And they still got seeded watermelon. They had 2 big totes, and that's all the ones that they have left. I went down there, I bought 4. Those are the seeded ones. They're out of season. And so she was like, well, we have the seedless ones in season. I said, I don't eat seedless watermelons. So I bought 4 because I love watermelons. That helps with my sweet tooth. And and they are really good. So I don't know if they've sold out, but y'all go get some. And the cucumbers, they last longer because they're organic. They grow everything in yeah, Jones Orchid. They grow everything in the back of their facility, so it's organic. So y'all make sure y'all, if y'all are around the Millington, Covington, Memphis, Mississippi area, northern Mississippi area, go down there and get you some organic veggies and get you some watermelon before seeded watermelon before they're out of season. And I'm using all of that for my and apples and stuff. And their apples are so good because they grow them in the back of their facility. Yeah, it's still open. It is. It's still open. Anyways, you guys, I enjoyed being on here with you all this morning. I gotta run. I was supposed to be somewhere. I was supposed to pick my mother. I gotta go pick up Steel because we gotta go somewhere downtown. But I enjoy being on here with you all. I just want to talk about Stray Drop's lawyer says that he was devastated, and now it says he's sitting back in his cell. He can't do anything but think. And regardless to what people say, Straight Drop is a 26-year-old young man. He trying to play bad because he got people egging him on. It's just like anybody that has children, right? When they have somebody they're easily influenced, they got somebody encouraging them to do wrong, it makes them do worse, right? So he got to keep up that facade and all of that. I do believe that he hate that he got caught, okay? That he hate that he had gotten caught, and that it is affecting him. I'll say it again. Luke Evans was not hired to get Straight Drop off. Luke Evans was hired to make sure that Straight Drop did not take a plea deal and tell anything. And if he just so happens to get off, um, he says on the right side of 51, yes, ma'am, they can point. They on point. Yes, they are. And if he happened to get off, he just happened to get off. But his job was to make sure that he did not take a plea. That's what whoever was paying him hired him and paid him for. Okay. Anyways, you guys, I gotta run because I got somewhere to go and then I gotta get out and work today. I'll try to get back on if I'm not too tired. If I'm not too tired, I'll try to get back on later on today. Okay. I'll try to get back on later on tonight if I'm not too tired. She talks about having a child with Jay Fizzle and he and her daughter's name tatted on him, but maybe he just claimed her out of love. Love, I don't know. I'll revisit that, okay? Because you could be right. I'll revisit it. But anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you can support the channel via Cash App. You guys be safe out there today, okay? Be safe. For those of you all that's got to go to work, ask God to go before you. You know, if you got difficult bosses and things of that nature, wherever you're going, you know, I hope you arrive there safely. Ask God to go there for you. Make the highways and byways clear for you to be able to get there and get back home safely to your family the same way you left, okay? I love you guys. I'll talk to you later.